I know what you're thinking. I need a poem. That's right. I knew that's what you were thinking. And so here I am, old man poetry circle in a square room. And this today's poem is called Stop. I think it's pretty appropriate for what's going on. It's called Stop. And here he goes. There's a joke about wanting to die peacefully like Grandpa, you know, his eyes closed to sleep, not like his passengers who are screaming in the car as the car hurtles towards the cliff. Okay? I hear a lot of people screaming these days, and I don't want to close my eyes, not wanting to see what's going on. The endless wars, the endless raping of nature, the endless hatred, the raping of everyone. The media controlled by the guilty, telling the story as if this is new news. It's been going on for a long time. Anyways, a long history of women being raped, as I say, and, men slaughtered in the war, meat grinders, and everyone being slaves for the rich. We don't need more files. You know what I mean? There's enough files. We know who's guilty. There's enough evidence. Please. I am awake. I'm not closing my eyes, and I don't want to be driving off the cliff, okay? I don't want to be one of the passengers screaming either. Stop! Don't bomb Iran! Stop the genocide! Stop the raping of the children! I mean, you can hear yelling stop all the time. Why doesn't it stop? We want it to stop. I know. Words have power, really. Think about it. When you see the stop sign, there's an agreement. You stop. Knowing you're supposed to stop, you come to an actual stop, okay? Then there are those when no one's watching, they just roll through the stop sign. You know what I'm saying? And for the safety of everyone, we created police, I guess. That's what we did. And the police force was supposed to stop those who wouldn't stop, okay? But now, if the police are hired by those, committing the crimes, there's no reason to believe that the crimes are going to stop. There isn't. So the car seems to be out of control. We're all yelling stop as if we speed towards the cliff. It's time to turn off the car. Take the keys like some people do from the scene. Just take the keys, okay? You may ask, how do we do this? We could ask AI, or we could talk to each other. You know what I mean? Talk to each other. And maybe, I know people have been searching for the answers and it's not stopping and we want it to stop. It's going to take more than words and screaming, okay? We have to come together to stop it. There you go. I know that's what inspired you and it made your day and all that kind of stuff. So, as people say, subscribe and like and get the t shirts and there's all that stuff, for the old white guy poetry circle in a square room.